Macgaibo.
Hi, I'm Magaibo, and I'm doing something I haven't done for a while, which is sitting on the perimeter gate in Jita, just looking at ships as they jump into this market hub system, the biggest market system in New Eden, and scanning them to see if there's anything that I can take from them when I blow them up. I haven't been doing this in Jita for a while because I feel like I overfished the pond a bit. There was a lot of reasons to give it a break, but I've taken that break. And now I'm back here for a little bit. Now I say a little bit because I've clearly got a couple of ults here, which yesterday I gave 1 month game time to. I plexed them up for another month of Omega time. When that month runs out, I'm going to give the ganking a rest completely, and I'm going to spend some time exploring some other aspects of EVE Online, making videos about them as well. I'd just like to say then that if you are planning to fly some large skill injectors into Jita in a venture, or maybe even a corvette, then please do it over the next 28 to 30 days. I'd appreciate it. Now, as I'm filming this, I'm running a competition to win a month's game time, 500 plex, and to do that you have to make a suggestion as to what you think the next video in my Kill All series should be. If you're not familiar with it, the Kill All series are videos where I pick a particular pilot type or ship type and then spend a couple of hours blowing them up, or trying to, in some cases really failing badly, and I've received quite a few suggestions. And what I can say from these suggestions is you guys do not like Asteros, and you're not particularly keen on T1 Industrials either. But there has been some great suggestions. Being an EVE Online player, you'll not be surprised to hear that what I'm going to do is collate all of the responses in a spreadsheet and then let you know exactly what it is that people want me to blow up in the next Kill All video. But I have to say that in doing a little bit of research for what some of these suggestions have been, I've learnt quite a lot that surprised me about the options available when ganking different kinds of ships. I always really thought that if you're going to be ganking something bigger than what you'd use a Thrasher for, that you would use either tornadoes if you only had 1 or 2 pilots, or if you had more than that, Catalyst or Talos. But I've recently learnt a lot about ganking that you can do in certain areas of space in different ship types that I hadn't really thought about using. I'm definitely keen to explore that in a video. One of the things that you have to bear in mind is that most of my videos are shot in 0.9 or 1.0 security space, and what that means is that Concord, the in-space police, are there practically instantly. When you get down to other areas of high security space, which is anything of 0.5 and above, the Concord response is a lot slower. What isn't slower is gate gun response. So if you're on a gate and you fire at somebody in 0.5 or 1.0 space, the gate guns kick off straight away. It's only Concord response that is slower. But the difference between Concord and gate guns is you can tank gate guns. Also, when Concord go to attack you, you can't avoid that. In fact, it's an exploit within the game if you find a way to avoid being concorded when you've carried out a criminal activity in high security space. Whereas the gate guns, you can warp away from them, they won't nute you, they won't scram you, they'll just pour a lot of DPS upon you. If you do gank somebody in 0.5 or 0.6 space and Concord aren't there, you'll get the gate guns attacking you straight away, and Concord will get there eventually, there's no denying that. But it gives you a little bit of a window where you've got an option to use a different tactic to attack people. So you can sit on a gate where Concord are not present, a ship can jump in, you could scram it, start to attack it, the gate guns will attack you, but you've got maybe up to 40 seconds, 45 in 0.5 space, where you can continue to shoot at your target as long as you can tank the gate guns before Concord turn up and obliterate you. So I've mentioned in the past there's a difference in that kind of ganking to the kind of ganking I do. What I do here is alpha ganking, which is what you do in Tornado pretty much as well. Alpha ganking means you need to get all your DPS away in one shot. If you're using 2 thrashes, you might get 2 shots away, but generally no more than that. But that means that anti-gankers can use different tactics as well. If you are going to be piling on damage on your target who you've got scrammed at a gate. But I don't want to give away too much, this is all for another video. For now, I'm alpha ganking in Jita. Now this chap here in this Vexor Navy issue is suspect and he's hanging around. Now if you like to get kills, there are lots of suspect people flying around in Jita, but he could be, and probably is, just baiting to try and get me to aggress, and then he just destroys me. He could be fit for, I mean, he's got drugs in there. And as you can see here, I've only got 1 bullet in the chamber anyway. So I tend not to get involved in fights like that around Jita. I mean, I am here just really for one purpose, and it's a matter of trying to stay disciplined. This is where the focus is going to lead to success. I mean, you engage with someone, the best case scenario is you get an average kill mail. The worst case is you lose your ship, and then you've got to go back and refit and wait out the engagement timer. It's really a scenario of play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The same goes with buying kill rights. I would say maybe 2/3 of kill rights that you see on ships are genuine, but as with any mechanic in game, it's open to manipulation, and it isn't unusual for people to have kill rights that have been generated by their alts, in which case they try to profit from them. You see that a lot in Jita, people flying around ships that are empty, literally no modules or anything, just autopiloting but with a kill right on, just waiting for someone to kill them, but maybe 20 or 30 million for a ship that costs less than $1 million. Or there's a cluster of about 4 or 5 ships outside Jita 4-4 docking point, just permanently sit there with kill rights waiting to be activated. The other thing is, it's quite easy to put a kill right on yourself if you've got an alt, and then just bait for a fight. And again, you get people outside 4-4 station that have a kill right there, or come out suspect, tanked up to the bank teeth. There's a couple of pilots with orcas that do that, and I'm sure that people come along and think, oh, an orca, that's an industrial, that's a mining ship, I can take that. But it's tanked and it's ready to fight. And you'll see that these orcas got loads and loads of kill mails in Jita. So again, if it seems like it's too good to be true, then it probably is. Jita is like the Mos Eisley of EVE Online. It's a hive of scum and villainy. You can see that Vexor is back again. He's desperate for a fight, but I'm not going to give it to him. The other thing you see a lot of pilots doing in Jita is challenging you as well to a fight. And unless you absolutely know what you're doing, I would maybe give that a pass as well. I would imagine that that's not why you're in Jita. So when the challenge comes up, just decline it. If they come up again, you can choose to decline and block that pilot. He's an executioner, just a kind of frigate, and he's empty. I think it's quite sad to see somebody come to Jita and leave with an empty ship. It's like you've visited the shops and not been able to afford to buy anything. Now here's a shuttle that's jumped through and he's just sitting there, bonkers. I've seen people do that loads of times, and with expensive cargoes on board. I mentioned in a previous video that I like to scan ships that I've got no hope of killing, just because I like to see what they've got on board. We've recently started in my Twitter account posting a scan of the day some of the ridiculous things that people carry. Ridiculous not just in the values that they carry, but also items that you've never heard of before. And I've killed people sometimes because they've had items which I've never heard of before, and I just wanted to have one. It's quite psychopath behaviour when you see it straight out like that. I saw someone who had an Aurum token, and after doing a bit of reading, I got in touch with CCP and asked them if they would convert this token into Plex, and they did, and added it to my Plex account. And more recently I saw somebody carrying a small Jita protest, which is a commemorative item of when people protested in Jita about the markets at the time. I think that's quite a good thing for a game developer to put into a game to commemorate objections made by players at the time against some aspects of the game. I think that's quite good humoured, and also I think a great deal of respect shown from the game developers towards the thoughts of the players to commemorate it. Might be wrong, but that's how it seems to come across. Also want to give a mention to EVE Online discussion board forum, which I've just started up at magaibo.com/forums, which is just another place where people can discuss EVE Online with other like-minded people. Just put it online. It's a slow burn, these things, but I'm going to stick with it. I'm doing things like posting fits of my ships and things there as well, and other people have been posting some fits, some PvP fits that they've been sharing, and I'm hoping it might become a interesting forum without drama, offering support and ideas, and maybe even organising things to do in game. And I would like some of the focus to be on people who've just started playing, but there's also lots of scope for experienced players to post and discuss things. Now, someone's just told me that none of the bots that steal the loot on the station on 4.4 are active at the moment. So I'm going to take a little run up to the station, see if we can catch anything interesting going in. So this is the docking point at 4.4. If you choose warp to station, you land here. But you also get people autopiloting up as well, but it's a great spot because people who warp to the station don't realise they actually fall short a little bit. So if I zoom right in here, you'll see that there's a few things going on here. There's the bots. Firstly, there's two bots, which is the Furies, who are, there's about 7 of them, and they're always on the 4.4 station, and they sometimes loot, sometimes they're not switched on, but you've always got to be careful with them, never take them for granted. But sometimes there are bots that come on, people who come on, pilots that come on, that are so fast at looting, it's not human. You will see the wreck flash up as empty, meaning that they've looted it so fast that it's not even shown up on your overview. Now, just to let you know, I'm in the UK, the servers for EVE Online are in London, and I've got cable, 200 megabytes a second connection. So there's very few places in the world that should be able to have a ping to the servers as good as I am. So I can't think that it's possible for a human being to loot a wreck that I've shot and I've created before it's even shown up on my overview. And there are a couple of pilots who are in Jita all the time who do this. I've got over 15 years experience EVE Online. I know that they aren't manually looting these wrecks. But even after having these suspicions, I've spoken with an open mind to other gankers who've told me that the people who do this, they have a history with them, they used to gank with them, but then they learned that these pilots started to use scripts, bots, automation to loot the wrecks, which they didn't agree with, and they parted ways, and then they ended up stealing loot from them as well. So if you see the pilots whose names I'll put up on screen just now, we'll even wait and see if any of them log on. They are automated, and you will not be able to loot before they do. What the gankers do now is, if these pilots come on, we move away from here. Wow. So someone's just ganked somebody, sent me this kill mail, and said thank you very much for your videos because they just got this kill. Wow. Well done, Lady Jones. Now there will be people commenting on this video going, oh, a ganker complaining about someone stealing loot. It's not what I'm complaining about. There are people... When I ganked on the Jita gate and perimeter, there was only once that I had loot stolen. And it was a pilot who came flying seemingly out of nowhere and didn't even stop, but just scooped the loot on his way past. And it was fantastic. I got in touch with the guy to say well done. I've just burst out laughing because it was so smoothly done. It was brilliant. So even though I financially ended up losing out, I had to applaud the pilot at that point. It was fantastic. This has got nothing to do with good gameplay. This is people, I suppose the word is cheating. Now there's no tears. People are going to say, oh, look at the tears of the ganker. There's no tears. We just move on and we do it somewhere else. If anyone is working within the permitted boundaries, the game rules, the game mechanics, I'll take you on. I will try my best. I'll up my game. You adapt. It's what you do. But you can't do that if somebody's using automated scripts. And it isn't part of game design. So as I was saying, the gankers themselves, pilots that use the scripts, admitted it when they were talking to these other gankers. I do know that these bots have been reported on so many occasions. I've even done it myself. And when I've chased it up, if you submit a ticket and do it that way, then CCP actually get back in touch and tell you, no, what you have to do is email the details to security at CCP Games, which I did, and I put in so much of the detail. I put in details of the kill when it happened, so they can see within the server the kill happened then, and I'm looking at it. I know the kill is coming because I'm the one pressing F1 or F2, whatever. So I can send them the details of the kill, and they could, I assume, see the time at which it was wrecked. The wreck was looted. I don't know. But unfortunately, I got no response, and when I spoke to the other gankers about it, they also got no response. And it seems like there's just no appetite at CCP to take on people who use scripts. So if someone's watching this video and it's crossed their mind to use a script, I can't say to you there will be severe repercussions, because my experience is that there are no repercussions. If anybody from CCP would like to tell me otherwise, now during the CCP, the EVE Online Fan Fest a couple of weeks back, a big deal was made about the number of bots that CCP say that they've banned from EVE Online. And I think those bots are ones that are doing abyssal plexes, mining, faction warfare and things like that. Where I think in those cases, those are pilots who are fully automated in the way that they'll dock and undock and carry out absolutely everything in an automated manner. But when it comes to pilots who hang around here, who use scripts to pick up the loot, I can tell you that nothing has been done at all. So I'd like to hear from CCP what it is that they need in order to investigate this, to look at this, and just make it so everything that happens in this system is down to the skill of the pilot and not whether or not they're good at programming automation. Now the line of where these ships are is the docking point, so if anything gets up to these ships or even passes them, you can't target it, you'll not be able to scan it, it's done. So the ones that you're looking for are ones that are either autopiloting up from here, or they've landed a little bit short here. And you really need a couple of things to get them that quickly. One is sensor boosting up to the max, so 2 sensor boosters here, and then I'm remote sensor boosted. And the other thing is to have rigs that mean that you scan the cargo an awful lot quicker. And if you go to magaibo.com/forums, you will see that I've posted details of all of my thrasher fits for different situations online. Now this guy's fallen really far short, so we'll just Scarlet Fair Maiden. Let's have a look. Empty. And sometimes you only get time to scan stuff. Now if you lock onto a pilot and you start the scan, even if they dock or get past the point at which you could shoot, you will still get the results of that scan. So sometimes that's all you get enough time for. But then all you do then is mark them as a potential target for next time. The way that I do that is through the standings mechanic. So I've got a category of pilots that I have to keep an eye out for, and I put them to red, which is between over -5 and -10. Things like loot thieves or people who like to anti-gank. People to look out for. Wow, look at that, 589mm in a Synesis. Now if someone's going to be a potential target, I set them as -0.1 down to -5, and what that means is I set that to show up as orange or yellow, and if I see someone who's orange or yellow, it means kill on sight. So if I scan someone just as they're coming in and they've got injectors on board, I'll set them to orange because that's a pilot that I know is careless, and it's something to think about for next time. As you've probably noticed already, being here at the docking point of the station is a lot more frantic than just looking for corvettes as they come through the gate or waiting for people to autopilot. It's pretty much something to scan every few seconds. That's why it's such a popular place to be. If I get a wreck, it's going to come up with a loot all button right here. So I want to make it that I double click the wreck and then click on loot all, put them right next to each other. Don't like it when pilots just hang about here, makes me nervous. 2 billion in Navy Cap boosters, and oh no, it's 2 billion in Stand Up Shadow. Now I mentioned about people on the station going suspect and then killing people. That's exactly what's happened here. Market Tycoon is the orca, and he's gone suspect, and this Kaldari Navy hookbill is trying to kill him. Where is he? This Kaldari Navy hookbill here. So if we just take a look at that Kaldari Navy hookbill and take a look at the orca, we'll see what happens. We'll see who it is that's attacking this. The Kaldari Navy hookbill is the only one that's really attacking that orca. Everything else is alts of the orca, probably trying to put a false sense of security into the Kaldari Navy hookbill pilot's brain that he's got a good chance of killing him because the others are helping out. Now, this is far busier than the gate, not just with the amount of targets that I can scan, but also the sheer amount of pilots that are undocking over here as well. This isn't even the busiest part of the day. That's something you'll notice, is if you end up with like over 25-30 scan windows open at once and you close it, then the entire client freezes. I'd love to know what's going on there. You see that? There's a catalyst there, is trying to attack the orca now. It's not going to end well for the catalyst. Right enough over there we can see there was the wreck of the catalyst. There's kind of an unwritten rule that if a leopard turns up, which is a really fast kind of shuttle, really expensive as well, about 250 mil as I record this, you shoot it. You don't scan it, you just kill it. 8-9 times out of 10 it is empty, but some people do use it to ship high value loot. Similarly, there's a new shuttle called a Bubak, which can't be scanned. So again, I just shoot it whenever I see it. I think I've killed about 4 of them. None of them have had anything of any interest inside them. So this venture's landed a little short. Let's see what he's got. Nothing. Bye now. Wow, look at that Dramiel, which is a pirate frigate. Just warp into the station, no bookmarks or anything. And he had over 2 billion worth of cargo, faction mods and implants as well. Now, if I'd had a tornado there, I would have blown him up. He would have been gone. That's crazy. That's why I've made a video about how to warp to a bookmark and instant dock, and you would never be able to be scanned by anyone. Absolutely bonkers. 2 billion in a frigate. That's a risky way to live. Now here's a venture that's fallen short. Darwin, Dawn, have you got anything interesting on board? No. Ventures suck. Now here's a little hint. If you're trying to lock somebody but they're not on your overview because you've got filters on, and you don't want to chase them around, or you'd find it difficult to chase them around because they're moving fast, hold down the control button and you can draw a square and it will lock whatever's in that square. So you draw the square, let go of the button, and it'll show you what's inside that. It'll lock what's inside that square, even if there's more than one ship. Look, if I go like that. In fact, it's locked the wreck that's there as well. The really high value items that you get aren't necessarily just the large skill injectors and Plex. I mean, a large amount of Plex will be obviously a very high value, but when it comes to single items, even the multiple pilot certificate is about 1.5 billion. There are some things, just individual items, that are worth a lot more than that. Officer mods, for example, purple mods. These are things that drop very rarely from very difficult to kill spawns in nullsec or 00 space, and they are worth a lot of money. And I have, not that long ago, killed somebody who had 3 pilots that was autopiloting in shuttles, and between them they had 3 or 4 of these purple mods in their ships. I do know that one of the other pilots was killed a few systems ahead of where I killed him. I killed him in perimeter in the run up to the Jita gate. And I saw that another one was killed in Uedama, which is about another 4 or 5 jumps further up the pipe. And that was a big kill. So the loot ship that I'm using here is a Jaguar, and you can see that the other loot ships that are hanging around are a lot larger. There's 2 Wreaths and a Gnosis as well. The reason that people go for such large ships is that a larger surface area or a larger ship means that you're going to be closer to the wreck wherever it drops. And a small ship like the one I'm using, it doesn't do that. So the reason I've gone for the smaller ship is because it's a lot faster. And a lot of the ships that I'm scanning are actually coming up from this point, which is the autopilot in point. Now if I had a large ship up here, I wouldn't be able to zip down here and collect these if I popped them. I would just be slow boating along, or more likely just watching someone else come and collect the loot. But if I'm out here ganking with tornadoes, then I would swap out the Jaguar that I use for something like a Wreath. I'm still giving away the PvP ships. Over 900 left. These are PvP fully fit ships which I'm giving out to people who have never really tried PvP before but want to give it a try. And it's zero risk. I'll give you the ship, I'll put it right next to a low security system, and you can have it for free. Look in the description below for the link to the low security PvP ship giveaway. And just message me in game, let me know which of the ships you would like. Please know that it may take a day or two for me to get back in touch. Now I don't know if you noticed that, but a ship came in there and he was suspect, so I just shot him, which meant that I can take his loot, and which is exactly what I did, and I don't go suspect because he's suspect. I can kill him, and that's exactly what I did. But now I've got no ammo left, so I'm just going to dock up, which it won't let me do because it's within a minute of me aggressing another ship. While I'm getting some fresh ammo and also repairing my guns because they did get a little bit of damage, I'm just going to use my ult to scan for any potential targets and hopefully shoot and kill them. Just want to share a conversation that I'm having with a pilot who just turned up at the docking point flashing red. He was suspect, and he said that it's the last straw, I have no ISK, and that I ganked him. I said, well, you were suspect, you didn't get ganked, it was a legal kill. And he says, yes, but still, now I have nothing. Well, if you've got everything in the one ship that you have, probably best not to fly around Jita suspect and then walk to the station not at a bookmark. This is going to happen to you every single time. So hopefully the chap's learnt his lesson. So it's at this stage where I haven't got a decent kill for a while that I start to get itchy trigger finger, and I'm probably going to end up doing something a bit daft. And I'm certainly going to wrap up the video in a minute. Just going to see if there's a leopard, a boobook, or a shifty looking shuttle just warping in, and I might just give it a little pop. The new forum is up and running, and every month I'll be giving away large skill injectors, but you need to be registered to take part. And it's a great little forum already, an alternative to some of the other things that are out and about there to discuss EVE Online. I'm there all the time, as are some other excellent pirates and pilots. It isn't just a ganking forum at all. A lot of it is tailored towards new pilots, and details of the giveaways and advice that we can offer are there as well. And there's also lots for more experienced pilots, even if you just want to hang out and read some tall tales and laugh at some stories. And if you have been watching this and been inspired to go out and give ganking a try, please get in touch, let me know how you got on. If you've got any juicy kill mails, please mail them to me, I'd be really interested to see them. It's nice to know that I've got a little part in causing a lot of chaos in New Eden. Now, I tell you, every time I scan a ship that's got a gas cloud scoop in the cargo bay, it just gives me a moment of thinking it's a large skill injector. If I show you a little picture, look at that. If I just hold that up next to it, you can see that the grey in the bottom left and the light blue in the top right, just for a moment you can understand why your brain's going, that's an injector. So I think some days it's just not meant to be. It's not always about the amount of loot that you get. Sometimes it's nice just to have a video with a little bit of chat. So thanks very much for watching. Another ship. Let's just blow up this shuttle. And that sums up my day. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again next time, and until then, I'll see you on the forums. Bye now.